What's going on, everyone? It's Greg back with Watcher of Realms, and today I want to go over the two new heroes that are coming out, why you should think about going for them, but not necessarily in the 10 times banner. But we have these two heroes, Vierna and Silas. Now, the interesting thing here is there is a bit of synergy amongst them. Now, there was a nice layout for the skills. Where is it? Here we go. So, Vierna is a mage. You can see her range here, pretty typical. I think she has a little bit better range than most mages. I think normally you don't get these two blocks on the mages. I'm pretty sure this is like what most of my mages have at max. So range is a little bit better, which is nice. Now her talent. Basic attack applies a mortal kiss to the target. Mortal kiss deals AoE magic damage equal to a certain percentage of the caster's attack to both the effect bearer and surrounding enemies. So this mortal kiss is also an AoE, so it sticks to the unit over time, or sticks to the enemy over time, and is doing damage to anything that comes around that as well. Airborne units take half the damage. I find that even though some units have this, sometimes they're still quite effective against air units. I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but I do know from the things I've seen and heard, let's be real, MaBucket with all his content, and he has used Vierna on the Forerunner server, that she is pretty much the top AoE damage dealer, period, used in most modes. I mean, pretty much usable anywhere, maybe except for Guild Boss. So yeah, let's keep looking at these attacks, or these skills. Basic attack deals magic damage to one enemy. Attack speed bonuses do not affect basic attack. So if you give her attack speed, not really helping with the basic attack. So I don't know if there would be any reason to give her attack speed. Ultimate skill, deal massive AoE damage to enemies in range. Executes enemies with HP below a certain percentage after a short delay. Elite monsters and bosses are excluded. This is kind of like the killer for her, man. You probably want rage regen on her, amongst the crit damage, the attack, crit, and then ultimately crit damage, because essentially what she's going to do is just obliterate waves of enemies. Obliterate, like just poof, they're gone. Once they get below that health HP threshold, she hits that ultimate, just disappear. Gear raid 1. I mean, by far, like, probably the best for Gear Raid 1. And just good in so many modes. I mean, I think that even with her reduction on flying enemies, she can probably still be helpful in other areas as well. Like Gear Raid 3. Not quite sure on that yet, we'll have to see. Passive, extract the soul of every enemy killed by her into crystal on her staff. She can collect up to a certain amount of souls. Each soul increases her attack by a certain percentage. When there are at least 2 enemies in range, she consumes souls and attacks more enemies. So, man, like, just continuous powering up, hitting more, doing more AoE damage. Just massive damage dealing here. Passive, applies bonus shield to ally with the lowest HP percentage in range for a period of time. Skills cooldown is reduced for every kill up to a certain limit. Bonus shield increases physical damage reduction by a certain percentage and deals AoE magic damage equal to a certain percentage of attack to nearby enemies per second. I mean, this also helping on, let's say, like Gear Raid 1, right? You have someone sitting within her range, but also near where the mobs are. Still more damage, just more damage. Now here comes the synergy with Silas. Bond skill, obtain Silas the Blind King, and you unlock the bonus effect. Bonus shield restores half extra HP equal to a certain percentage of the caster's attack per second. So you're getting some additional healing there just by owning, and from my reading of this and from my understanding, is just by having Silas. So you just have both the units, you're activating their bond skill. So let's look at Silas. Silas not as like crazy, but Silas is an excellent single target damage dealer. His range similar to Theowin and Brienne. Those units, that kind of rectangle, they're actually same range as Vierna, right? Yeah, so they have the same range. talent on Silas deals extra damage to airborne units after launching a certain amount of attacks. Triggers soul sniping for next attack. Soul sniping deals massive damage that ignores part of the target's defense. It's just going to be a single target nuker. Deals damage to one enemy, prioritizing airborne units. Ultimate skill, damage increase. Damage increases in each attack becomes soul sniping that ignores all defense of the target for a period of time. Passive, if a unit is within attack range dies, increase damage for a period of time. This effect can be triggered up to 1 time within a period of time. Okay, that's like a bit of a tongue twister there. Another passive, after attacking the same target for some time, inflict Eye of Curse upon the target for a period of time. Eye of Curse will be triggered only 1 time. Every once in a while. Soul sniping will deal extra damage to targets inflicted with the Eye of Curse. Then his synergy skill, obtain Vierna, the Wraith Queen, to unlock the following bonus effect. During the effect of Shadow Cloak, soul sniping deals extra damage. Alright, so I like this description because it just kind of gives you the overall description. We're going to go ahead and look real quick at some of the details on that. So if we pull up Vierna, try to get a look at some of the numbers. It deals AoE magic damage equal to 25% of the caster's attack to the effect bearer and surrounding enemies in a larger range every second. Airborne units take half the damage. That's that Mortal Kiss. Then we have the basic attack. It's just, deals a damage to one enemy, increases by 5% each upgrade there. Now, the Reaper's Grasp, the ultimate, deals 700% AoE damage, goes up to 900%. And to enemies in range after short delay, enemies with HP lower than 25%. So this threshold goes up to 35%. So once they dip below 35%, they're instantly killed. Just obliterated. Poof, gone. That's it. That is a very, very powerful ultimate. And of course, you can get the skill cost down, initial rage up. Passive soul extraction, this is where she's getting the souls, and clicked up to a total of 6, but then up to 12 souls. Each increase the attack by up to 3%. So 3 times 12, 36% extra damage if I'm looking at that right. When there are at least 2 enemies within range of basic attack, consume 1 soul and +1 target of basic attack. So you can add in targets to the basic attack, which makes sense. The bonus shield increases the damage and on damage reduction, which makes sense. That's a shield portion, and does that damage to units near the one that you're shielding. And then the bond skill, which we already saw, just increases that bonus shield. Grants bonus healing for 10% of the caster's attack every second. Then Silas, let's take a look at his numbers. The talent deals 20% bonus damage to airborne units, so that's a nice little boost. For every 5 instances of attack, the next attack becomes soul sniping, which deals 140% damage that ignores 50% of the target's defense. Basic attack is 100% damage to one enemy, prioritizing air units. Pretty basic. The ultimate, when activated, the hero's damage increased by 60%. Each attack becomes soul sniping, ignores all defense of the target for 15 seconds. You can get this up to 80% and make it last 20 seconds and reduce the cost a little bit. If a unit within attack range dies, increase damage by 30% for 10 seconds. That can be triggered up to 1 time every 20 seconds. So you can get the trigger time down to 15 seconds and then damage up by another 10%. Then the Eye of Curse, the passive, if you're attacking the same target, so this is good for like boss elites. For 5 seconds, inflict Eye of Curse upon the target for 8 seconds. Eye of Curse will be triggered only 1 time for every 20 seconds, and will deal 50%. Soul sniping will deal 50% extra damage to targets with the Eye of Curse. So you can get that up to 24 seconds. No wait, the duration up to 12 seconds, and the extra damage up another 10%. So he overall is just going to be a very good single target marksman. Again, I think you'll be able to use him in a lot of areas, but will he really? I just don't see him being as necessary as Vierna, which again, you're not going to have any required units in the game. You're not supposed to, at least. But Vierna will just be a massive help to pretty much any account. After you get both of them, his soul sniping deals 100% extra damage when Shadow Cloak is in effect. So if we look at the Shadow Cloak, it was 60% up to 80%. So I mean, it kind of negates the upgrades to a degree. I don't think they're stacking that on top, so I don't know if you can get to 120 or if it's just 100. Matter of fact, you'd have to look at it. I guess when you upgrade it, this number might upgrade. We'll have to wait and see. So there you go. Single target marksman, probably good in some modes. Vierna, the freaking AoE damage queen, will be good in so many areas. So that's what we have to look forward to. Just so you know, the banner, which I explained this in the summoning video, like when should you choose to summon. Keep in mind the 10 times rate does not coincide with 2 times. So when we have this 2 times rate on the weekend, it will not include Vierna and Silas. You cannot even pull them from the 2 times banner. You can only pull them from their limited rate up banner. So the best shot at getting them is going to be in their 10 times, even though you have less of a rate of a legendary. It's very good if you know where you are in pity and you know you can hit it. You have a much better chance of getting one of them. I do want to try to go to Vierna, but I'm going to be taking more of a gamble on that, and we'll see how it goes. Honestly, patience is the key, especially if you're free to play low spender. Patience will get you a long way. You want to wait until the next 2 times banner, because after their banner is over, they will be included in the general pool. So that's your best bet on acquiring them. Wait for the next 2 time banner. Although at that point you don't have the 10 times on them, so you can look at it either way, man. You want to maximize your account, so I still say, you know, you really want to go for those 2 times banners, but at the same time, if you really want Vierna like I do, then you might just want to go for it. Depends on if you know where you're at on pity. I think I got lucky with the special, you know, the free legendary when you summon a legendary banner over the weekend. I gambled on that one. I hit it. I don't know. I'm gonna try to gamble again on this one. We'll see how it goes. I don't know exactly how many I'll be able to pull. So, but stay tuned for that video. Stay tuned for some gameplay. Hopefully I'll be able to do some gameplay if I can pull her. Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the content, make sure you hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.